Snow hissed across the Ruby Valley like a living thing, scraping at Rafe Callahan's coat as he stood between the frozen well and the two shapes he could barely bring himself to call his family. Clara's hair, once the soft honey he used to braid on warm evenings, now hung stiff with frost. Lily clung to her mother's skirt, her small boots. No, not boots. He realized with a sick twist, bare feet purpled from the cold, yet somehow leaving no blood on the snow. Rafe had known cold before. He'd wintered in Dakota dugouts, slept under dead horses after gunfights, and crossed the Bitterroots with nothing but a Bible page for tinder. But this cold was different. This cold pressed against the inside of his ribs as if the chill came from within, not from the February wind tearing through the valley. "Clara," he whispered, the name catching like a thorn in his throat. "Darlin', I buried you." I saw the preacher throw dirt. Her smile deepened, too wide for her almost blue skin. "I know, Rafe. You did everything right. We're not angry." Lily stepped closer, dragging something behind her. A doll Clara had sewn at the winter Lily was 3. Except the head sagged oddly, the stitching torn, the button eyes cracked. Lily's own eyes matched them, pale, empty, searching without seeing. The storm thickened, driving needles of snow sideways. Rafe wiped his sleeve over his Colt's hammer, keeping the mechanism clear. 3 bullets. He'd loaded 5 that morning. Somewhere between the overturned wagon and the trail of burned belongings he'd fired twice, set shapes he wasn't sure were wolves. They had moved wrong. Too tall, too fast. Clara tilted her head, listening to something Rafe couldn't hear. "They know you're here now. The ones from the well. They've been waiting so long." He glanced at the stone rim of Dead Man's Well. Snow swirled into the opening, but never accumulated. The wind carried up a deep whistling sound, like breath drawn through missing teeth. The old miners said the well was bottomless, haunted by the first man who'd fallen in during the gold rush. Rafe had never believed ghost stories. But then he'd never believed he'd see Clara's frost-cracked lips move again either. "Rafe." Lily's voice was a soft scrape, like cloth dragged over wood. "The wolves want you to come closer. They're hungry." He stepped back instinctively, her small shoulders stiffened. "Don't you love us anymore, Papa?" "I do," he said. The words broke him in half. "God help me, I do." Clara moved first, slow, gliding as if her feet weren't touching the ground. Rafe's breath caught as moonlight cut through a gap in the clouds. Her shadow didn't match her. It stretched long and spined, like something crawling instead of walking. "They showed us," Clara whispered. "Down below. What waits there, what we can become. And they said you would join us soon." A low moan rose from the well, a note so deep it rattled Rafe's teeth. The snow around the stone circle began to sink, as if something immense pressed upward from beneath. He lifted the Colt. His hands shook so much he had to brace his wrist with his other palm. "Clara. Lily. Don't make me do this." Lily's lips split into a grin too sharp for a child. "You should have died with us." They rushed him, not running, but sliding over the snow with a speed that froze his blood. He fired once, the muzzle flash lighting their faces in a ghastly burst. Clara jerked back, a hole smoking in her chest, but no blood spilled. Lily shrieked, not in pain but delight. Second shot. Clara fell, limbs twisting unnaturally as she hit the snow. Lily crawled toward him, fingers clawing at the ground despite leaving no marks. The moan from the well grew louder, hungrier. Rafe pressed the barrel to his forehead for a heartbeat, gathering the courage he needed not to die but to do what came next. The last bullet waited. He knelt in the snow, leveled the Colt at Lily's heart, and whispered, "I'm sorry, baby girl." Behind him, the well exhaled. Something massive began to rise.